welcome to another episode of Freshly Baked Nightmares. I am one of your hosts, Cece.
And I'm MC, and we're here to retell nightmare stories of working with the public.
Has it gotten any better, MC?
I wouldn't say better in the terms of good. I'd say better in more stories for us to tell.
I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. So last time, you guys, we talked about coupons and the horror of people
not reading them,
not understanding how coupons work. Don't understand how you can't just read the fine print, but you know,
to
it's
each their own, apparently.
Exactly. So today we're talking about coworkers.
Oof.
Oh,
The stories we could tell.
the stories. So let's get into some nightmares.
Well, I have several, so narrowing them down is very difficult.
I have a feeling this is MC's episode.
Get me on a good rant about a person, and I could go for hours.
Oh,
I like to spill the tea.
Sure. You like to spill more than the tea. You spill the milk as well.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that milk has got to be curdled to be spilt, but so this one actually goes back to one of my first jobs.
Okay.
Actually, the first job I ever had where I was getting paid.
Nice.
I worked at a fast food pizza place, and my coworkers had the habit of going to the smoke shop next door to buy drinks because we were not allowed to buy our own drinks that we sold at the restaurant.
Well,
That was a
dumb.
weird policy. We got free food, but no, we were not allowed to
you
have
can't
drinks.
have a drink for your food? That's okay, anyway.
So instead of, taking turns and like two people at a time go to get a drink, no, the entire store would go except for one person would always have to stay and man the store while they were getting all the drinks. And because they were all friends with the person who was working at the smoke shop, that 5 to 10 second trip would turn into up to an hour-long trip.
Oh,
And instead of alternating who would stay in the store, no, everyone, including management, would ditch me and leave me.
Whoa. Management would leave?
Oh, yeah. When I say the entire crew, but one would leave, the entire crew, but one would leave.
That is absolutely crazy.
So it would be just me working the register, making the food, pulling the food out, cutting it, and putting it either in the takeout category or in the delivery category. And then if there's a driver over there, then happen to go out the back door as fast as I can, tell them, hey, you got an order, go deliver it. And then run back to go finish what I was doing.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
You would not imagine how many pizzas I had to remake because the oven would get backed up. And they would fall to the floor.
I still don't understand how management
could
leaves
just
as well.
Well, again, same issue as other places. When you can pretty much do everything, management thinks you can handle everything on your own and treat you like your management without paying you like management.
Yeah, that grinds my gears. I'm sorry. That makes my cookie crumble. That's just crazy. That's absolutely insane.
So you got any beef with any coworkers from this job or another one?
I am a really nice cookie. I don't like to have beef with people. I don't like conflict. But I do. There are sometimes, and you've seen me.
Oh, yeah.
There are sometimes someone they push a button. And I don't know why.
They chuck that chip.
Exactly. So we have this one coworker, older lady. She's nice half of the time.
It depends on who you are.
Really, it does. And so I was fairly new to the job that me and MC are a part of. And I was at the cash register because, again, you guys should know I'm a cashier. And I'm at the cash register, and she hates the cash register. She hates being a part of this cash register. She'd rather stock.
Well, it honestly depends on the day you catch her, because anymore she likes being at register and she hates doing stock and planogram.
Yeah, she's just very interesting.
It's what day are you gonna get kind of person.
Exactly. So this one day, I guess she was just not having a good day, but I didn't know. I am a smiling cookie. I usually have a pretty good day. And so she was having this horrible coughing fit. And I was like, are you okay? Do you need some water? Do you need anything? And she's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And I went on, and a couple minutes went past, and then she had another coughing fit. And I'm like, are you sure
She's been
you
having
don't?
those a lot.
Yeah. And I was like, are you sure you don't need any water? Like, are you okay? And she was like, do you know how annoying that is? That you just keep asking me if I'm okay? Am I okay? Am I okay? You see, I'm okay. If I fall on the ground and I pass out, just leave me there. And I was like... I
mean, in her defense, we all say that line.
I was like, okay. And so it was fine. I was okay with being, I guess not that I was okay, but I was okay with being yelled at. But for the rest of the day, she was mocking me, going, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, okay, all right, fine, whatever. The next time you pass out, sure, I'll leave you on the ground. And I was just like, I'm trying to be nice. Like, if something had happened to you, wouldn't you want somebody to be concerned?
Kinda.
I would want somebody to be
honestly,
concerned.
It just depends. If I get knocked out, yeah, just leave me. If I knock out, leave me. I probably need to sleep.
No, I want somebody to help me if I'm having a problem. But I guess it's just not everybody. Not everybody is the kind of cookie I am. But it was just kind of disheartening as a cookie, to just be treated in that like kind of way of you want to be helpful, you want to help that person, and they just did not want that. And I was like, all right,
yeah,
fine.
I usually judge how it's going to be with this person based off the kind of communication we have when we first see each other. So if we have a witty banter going, I know it's going to be a good day. If it's just hi and nothing else, then I know, okay, leave them be. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm always so excited. You know me. When you see me, I'm always like, hi.
Unless you're dealing with a shitty customer.
Yeah. Well, that's later in the...
I don't know. Sometimes we get those right off the bat ones.
Sometimes we have that one person that walks in and you're like, not today, please.
And sometimes it's the same way when you see a coworker. They walk in and you're like, not today.
Yeah, and you have that with a few of our coworkers.
The list that I have issues with is growing, and the list that I'm okay with is shrinking.
Oh no. Well, I have to stay on the good list because we're podcast buddies.
I mean, I have the ones who fluctuate between the list depending on their days.
Okay.
But yeah, no. The most recent ones I'm not going to get into, but there was one that happened last year, same month actually, for Pride Month. And they let it slip that they refer to people who are transitioning as it's instead of their preferred pronouns.
We should put a trigger warning for anyone.
Yeah, trigger warning. This has got some phobia to it. And I was not okay with it. Like, it was not just me. There was management there as well. And they let it slip that, yeah, I refer to transgendered people as it's. I don't see them as people. And luckily there were no customers at the cut counter, but I did have stuff in my hand because I was filling a BOPUS order. And I had just cut fabric. I slammed the scissors down on the counter, turned to this person, and just stared them with the death stare that could rival Palpatine's electric lightning from Star Wars at this point, to the point where the manager sent the other person up to register and said, do not come back here for the rest of the shift. Because, first of all, don't disrespect anybody like that.
Yeah, I mean...
Love is love. People are people, no matter how they identify.
Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Was that not the nicest thing to say? No, it was not. And it should not happen in a work environment. It should just be a good working environment.
Yeah, but nice. You get those toxic coworkers, you toxic customers, and it's just like, how do you stay positive when that toxicity is just walking around?
I think you just have to remember we're only working for today. Like, we have this many hours to work in this day. We won't have to see them for the rest of the day or whatever time. We might not have to see them tomorrow. Like, it's just how it is. But yeah, no, I can understand of that being offensive, because you are a strawberry milk
I am strawberry milk.
So I get that. And I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, there's some people just
no class.
They have to. Well, they just have to. That just reminded me of Chicago. Nobody's got no class. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's frustrating. But you know, we're not always gonna be with those coworkers all the time. And some days people have it rougher than others. I always try to sing grace being a chocolate chip cookie. A lot of people have different things to say. And I'm just like, I'm a chocolate chip cookie. Life's pretty great. I like being a chocolate chip cookie. It makes me happy.
I am milk. I come in many flavors, many styles, many containers. So I am more open and accepting of things, but there are things that can curdle me.
Yeah. I mean, think of it like this way. We're coworkers, and we butt heads.
We butt heads, but we also pair well together.
We do. I mean, cookie and milk, man.
It's a classic duo.
Classic duo.
Way better than grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I don't know. I don't want to hurt the feelings of those who like their grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I am not a tomato soup person. If I do grilled cheese,
so
it's with chicken noodle soup.
No.
Yes.
What?
Chicken noodle soup and a grilled cheese is way better than tomato soup.
First of all, I am a grilled cheese with ham type of person.
Ew, ham.
And it's so good. Did you just say ew, ham? I am so upset with you right now.
I do not like the slimy texture of ham.
Okay. This is what I mean, people. When you have a coworker that you just don't. So me and MC, we butt heads a lot.
Over the most randomest stuff.
Over very random things. So my story of MC is MC likes to act like a 5-year-old.
Okay, says the woman who likes to act like a mother.
Because he acts like a toddler. If he would just do what he's supposed to do. And he also loves to start things.
Oh, please. You're the one who starts things, too. Don't act like you're innocent in this.
How do I start
There are days where I'll be working in and you'll say something that triggers me to respond. And you'll start the banter back and forth.
First of all,
don't act like you're pure innocence in this.
Half of the time I'm saying something that MC is because I know he gets triggered at the smallest little thing. Because he is, again, a toddler. And I'll be I'll randomly say something of like, I think the last time I said something, it was like something about anime that I had never watched. And I was like, oh, not
know if it was anime. I think it might have been a book.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was a book because we talk a lot about books. We could have a whole podcast on books, but we're going to stick to what we know best. And so I was like, I don't know. I didn't really like that book. And he just was so mad. He went off and at the end I was like, I haven't even read the book yet, MC.
She loves to start drama with me. If she's in a bad mood and she wants to laugh, she'll start drama with me just to get at me.
It's so funny.
And then she'll get mad when I do it to her. Such a double standard.
Oh, wait a minute.
You get mad when I do stuff like that to you when I'm having a bad day.
No, you do things that just don't make sense half of the time. But it's fine. I still appreciate you as a coworker. You're one of the only coworkers I can
I can keep all this in mind for next time I have a troublesome customer at the cut counter that I know will be a problem when you're cashier.
You won't warn me?
I will not warn you.
Oh, that's hurtful.
You forget I have the heads up warning system.
That hurt.
You don't want to burn that bridge.
Hurts my feelings. It's fine. Well, I have at least one good coworker story. Do you have a good coworker story?
Yes.
Okay. Well, would you like to go first? Or
you can go first on this one.
Okay. So I have a good coworker story. We have a coworker. We're gonna starts with an N. And she and I were working the
You're not talking about the Twiggy blonde, are you?
The blonde.
Like dirty blonde?
Dirty blonde. Is she dirty blonde?
Depending on the lighting, it looks like it's dirty blonde or a light brunette.
Maybe.
It's one of them weird hair transition colors. I don't know if it's from dye or just...
No. Anyway, MC, it's getting me off topic. But we were working the cashier together, and this woman had called earlier, and she was asking for some yarn. And I helped her on the phone. I was like, oh, yeah, we have this yarn. How much do you need? She told me. I said, okay, I'll grab it for you. I'll put it at the front. So when you come in, I can give it to you. So she comes in. And I'm working with another customer. And N is over on the other side. And she asked, can I help you? And the woman's like, oh, I called earlier about some yarn. It should be up here at the front. And I knew what it was. So I go, N. And I point over to where it was. And so she grabs it and she hands it to the lady. Now, N was about to go do something else. And the lady goes, oh, well, can you check me out? And she goes, oh, well, no, Cece will check you out. And the lady looks at me and she goes, well, no, can you, like, you check me out? And N was like, no, Cece will check you out. I'm actually doing something right now. So N, like, walks away. Lady gets in front of my cash register, and I'm like finishing up with the customer in front of me, and I'm get done with them, and I'm smiling, and I go, hi ma'am, how are you? And she's like, hi. And I'm like, okay, is this it for you? And she goes, mm-hmm. And I go, all right. And so she like throws the stuff on the counter, and I scan it, and then I go, it's like 17, like 89 or something. And she hands me like a 20, and then she hands me change, but she like hands me the change in a way like she doesn't touch
like a claw
my
machine,
hand, right? Like she just drops it in my hand. And I was like, all right. And so I give it to her, and I go, you have a good day, man. And she's like, mm-hmm. And she like hustles out of the store. Out of nowhere, in comes around, and she goes, Cece. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she goes, did you see that woman? Did you see how she was acting to you? Oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that to you. That's so crazy. She's so... I was like, whoa. I was like, it's okay. It's okay. But it was just nice to have like a coworker have your back in that kind of way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some people don't like chocolate chip cookies. I get it.
Some people don't like strawberry milk cutting their fabric.
Whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still a person. But it was really nice to just have that coworker kind of have your back of like, that wasn't okay. And I was like, I'm okay. Thank you for having my back though. It was just nice.
So my good customer or coworker story. Wow.
Yeah. No, it's coworker this time.
Yeah. The good coworker story was,
okay,
we had a coworker. She since changed location. She's still with the company, but at a different location. But I was having some custom jewelry made for specific reasons, and the person who was making it was willing to make payment plans.
Oh, that's really nice.
And I was talking to this person, and they're like, "Oh, what do you have in the jewelry? You know, where are you buying it?" I was like, "Oh, I have it custom made,
Ooh.
And I just made my first down payment. I have to make this much more." Like, I slipped the value of the amount of what I had left.
Right.
You know. Not expecting anything, just, you know.
Yeah, you just said, hey, I paid this much.
And they had just, like, 10, 15 minutes left of the shift. Mm-hmm. So we're still talking that. It's slow. We're wrapping up fabric, cleaning everything up, getting ready to put it back out for the day. And they check out. I'm like, okay, that's, you know, the end of it. The end of the conversation. Fine.
Yeah.
About 10, 15 minutes later, I get paged over the headset going, hey MC, you need to come to the front of the store. There's somebody looking for you by name.
Oh, that's never good.
They don't want to get out of their car. You need to go to their car now.
Oh no.
I didn't know we were allowed to do that kind of procedure. Like that seems shady. That seems. I'm sorry, what? They're not willing to get out of the car, but I'm in trouble. Somebody have a 911 on speed dial.
Oh no.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see what it is, you know. The manager said it was all cool, so kind of shocking there. I was like, okay, why is this okay? You know. Well, I go out to the car, and it was the person I was just talking to that just clocked out. Mm-hmm. And they go, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it to the function and all that you're planning. So as a small present and an apology, I ran to the bank, and here's to cover the rest of the money you need to pay off on your payment. I kept apologizing and saying, no, that's not what I was intending when I said the amount. That's not what I meant. And they kept insisting, take the money. And I'm like, I can't. That's too much. No. I appreciate the offer, but no.
That's so
and they would
nice.
not leave until I took the money. And I walked back in the store. I had the money in my pocket. And I just told the manager, like, I'm going to the break room. Somebody cover the cut counter. I'm going to go cry now.
Aw.
The manager got concerned for a second. Like, what just happened? Why is he going to cry?
That's so nice.
So I'm
though.
in the break room crying at this point. Like,
MC is such a crier.
I am an emotional hurricane.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
could go from crying to angry to happy.
Cries all day long.
Not all day long.
Close to it.
No. I bottle up the crying for the most part until it slips out.
Yeah.
But I'm back there crying. So the manager ends up coming back. And it's like, why are you crying? And I told them what happened. And they're like, yeah, you take your time. And it goes back to the floor. Like, you never expect that kind of thing, especially from coworkers.
Yeah. But, like I said, we
have some good ones.
We have our days with some of them, but we do have some pretty nice ones. We butt heads, and it's kind of like a family. You butt heads, and you want,
you forgive, but you never forget.
You want things to go one way, and they don't all the time. But life goes on. They're still a coworker, and some coworkers I'm still friends with till this day. So,
oh yeah.
That's what happens.
Or in some cases, we become friends with the coworker's family.
Yes, that sometimes happens. Or you just make a podcast with your coworker.
Yeah, that too.
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of this baking session. Follow us on our Twitter page at FBN 2022. That's at FBN 2022. Or Instagram at FB Nightmares 2022 to participate in some of our polls on what stories you want to hear next. And use our email, freshlybakednightmares@gmail.com, to send in your own stories. You might even be on our next episode.
And listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. And don't forget to bake up those likes, comments, and subscribes. And as always,
that's how the cookie crumbles.
And don't cry over spilt milk. Our next episode is going to be our listener stories. So if you want your story heard, make sure you send them to our emails, freshlybakednightmares@gmail.com, or to our Instagram or Twitter. Give us a nickname or a handle you want us to use, and we'll share your stories.
Bye, guys.
Bye.